Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is Life Without Grealish, it is episode 19. Today we have the Community Shield as we look to extract some sort of revenge on Manchester City at Wembley after they beat us in the FA Cup final last episode out. Since then, we've obviously had the transfer window. It is the 24th of July. The season does start that a little bit earlier because it is a World Cup year. And I will also put at the end of this episode the Champions League group stage draw. Our fixture list has actually been pretty kind. We start 3 games, 2 away, 1 at home, but against newly promoted, I think again, Brentford. I'll double check that actually. No, they've just stayed in the Prem. Okay, that's been solid. Watford and Newcastle. And as you can see, it does mean we have a very difficult September, and that's going to be split in with Champions League games, which means that it is going to get a little bit hairy, a little bit tight, and a little bit, difficult to maybe string together a run. What it does mean for me, though, is that there's going to be periods throughout this season where we're going to have easier fixtures, and that's great. Secondly, if you look at the transfer budget in the top right-hand corner, we have spent some money, mainly on one player, and it was a big deal, and the fact that he chose to come to me over a couple of clubs was huge, and it was one of the 2 areas I think we needed. So when I look at the team, and he's going to be in the team, we'll talk about him in a second, left back, right back, and if Tilio Kero's had all this interest, he actually wanted to go because I rejected a bid from Dortmund for like 20 million, which was nowhere near enough. He now wants to go because of the interest in him. He has a 50 mil release fee. Hervé Berlin made 28 mil, which I rejected. I'm hoping someone comes in for the 50 million for Tilio. And if that is the case, we'll probably hunt down a key centre-back to partner Diallo as well. But I'm thinking left back, right back. We've got one of them in, as you can see the name that's already there as well. Couldn't find a right back at the minute. And then with it being a World Cup year, what I've looked for is just depth. And when I mean depth, I'm meaning, as much as we've had players last season that were heroes, like Leo Barry, obviously. Louis was unreal and obviously scored the Premier League winner. If you haven't checked out that episode, we won it in the 93rd minute. Go check that out. But we have had, obviously, other players come in and out. Cerny hasn't developed enough, in terms of midfield option, etc., etc. We've got Boyegard that I've actually decided to loan out the other centre-back. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Bogard or Bogorad. But yeah, we've loaned him out now. We probably still need a backup goalkeeper. But with it being definitely the first half of this year being packed in with the World Cup, making it super difficult, we have decided to sign a couple of guys as well, just to, filter in a little bit more depth. Importantly to note, Trezeguet wanted to leave, had a year left on his deal, accepted 13.5 million, would have loved a little bit more. But yeah, apart from that, a lot of loans and options that you don't really, whatever. Gary Murr went for big money. He's got a 36 scout rating. So, for 475 plus 50% whatever he sells on for me, that's like golden. But yeah, we obviously spent big money on Owen, but we'll get to him. Javi Simons, a lot of people know, is a bit of a wonder kid on FM. You can sometimes pick him up from PSG when he chooses to leave. And on some stages, he goes on loan for many a season and stays at PSG and develops really well. As we have the cat going absolutely ballistic just there. If you can see in the sunlight, he's now gone underneath that blanket. I do apologise for whatever else he does behind me as well. But Xavi, he's been in a big save of Paulies, whose link is down below as well. So to Perugia, had him on loan for many a time until we picked him up on a free. I picked him up a few years earlier, and as much as this save is a long-term save, I feel like he's good enough for the here and now. A. B. He's a bit more creative, which sometimes I think we lack at times, and I have moved this season to an advanced playmaker just to help that, and Mohamed's very good in that area. And obviously, Mohamed's at that prime 22 years old of growing stage to grow into that best wonder kid that he could be. But to get Xavi in, play off the bench, get some form. This guy, I don't expect to win in the Champions League this season, but next season, after a year of playing in the Prem, hopefully will look really good. Second option. If you've watched my Twitch previously, we did a series called Damo Does England. We cut it short, it was too hard to do. We burnt out. We tried to win the Premier League with every Premier League club in the same save. And I think we got to Brighton. No, we won it first season with Brighton. I reckon we got to Cardiff, and we had a couple of close years. I was getting really annoyed and whatever, and yeah, we binned the save. But in that save at Bournemouth, we bought Pietro Pellegrini. And oh boy, he gave us one of the best stream moments ever. Exclamation mum on my stream chat where mum's gone off at me as he scored an absolute worldie of a volley. And we just yelled Pietro Pellegrini's the freak. So in our channel, he's known as the freak. And to reignite my love affair with him, he comes in. He's not as good as previous FMs like FM20, FM19. Oh man, like this guy was the bee's knees of wonder kids. This year he looks really good. For me, he's at the similar level of Lou Barry, but what it allows me to do means that with Trezeguet gone, I can play Barry out wide, which isn't bad. I can play Barry through the middle, but it also means that if there's a longer-term injury to Ings, and it seems like he always picks up one a season where he's a bit longer-term out, I've got a guy that's been around at Monaco, a guy that's probably going to get capped by Italy at some point in the save, and a guy that's 6'2", very physical, and if I'm down in the game, I can throw him up top and maybe even play him as a target man, etc., etc. Just that plan B. I feel like he's going to provide goals throughout the season, and you can't read too much in the preseason form, but he's played 6 times, 5 off the bench, and scored 7 goals. And yeah, so for me, the fact he went to Saint Etienne Ligue 1 and Saint Etienne finished decently well in 6th place last season, for me, the fact that he averaged a 7.1 tells me that, you know what, I feel like he is going to be a-okay as a signing to bring in. So that's really good. Also have Emiliano Martinez there as well. And by the way, Tilio also said that if he gave him a wage rise, no dramas. Wage rise wasn't much. His agent just locked in 30 mil release fee, and he's currently worth like 26 mil. I wasn't going to sign him on a new deal, by the way. That meant that... you're leaving for less than what your value is after you sign this deal. So I'd rather sell you for 50 mil this window if it happens. Anyhow, last signing, Owen. I said we need a left back. He's arguably one of the best young left backs on the game. I haven't used him ever in a save, and 40.5 mil for an elite left back that's only going to develop playing in the Prem and turn into an elite left back, unreal. So, we had 40.5 mil. I was negotiating with them to get it cheaper over years, and in the end I had an offer accepted for 47.5 billion over clauses, and then Hertha Berlin went in for 40.5, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And then because of that, the club turned around, which Dutch club was it? PSV or AZ? Turned around and said, no, not accepting the offer, we want the one up front. I was like, okay, I'm going to make 40.5 million. At the same time, Real Madrid needed a left back, and they went in. And I was like, oh, great, there we go, I'm not going to do it. And to make matters worse, Spurs went in as well. And I was like, well, it's very unlikely we're going to get him, but I am going to give him a contract as a first-team star player, and I'm going to hope and pray he comes. In the end, he's chosen to come to Villa over Real Madrid, Spurs, and Hertha Berlin. And I feel like that shows what a talent this man is, A, but B, that we're building such a project here with Villa that we've got one of the best left backs on the game in terms of young ones to come in. I feel like Luca Pellegrini is probably the best one to pick up because he just develops into a monster, and but there's a few out there that obviously are very good, but Owen is definitely up there. And look, there's still time left in the window. I'm going to obviously recap the next 3 games and show the group stage draw because it's towards the end of the window. I'm definitely saying now I love Jay, and I want Jay to play some minutes here and there over Arias and get him developing too, because I feel like this kid has such a high ceiling with that natural tackling ability. But there's going to come a time where I feel like that we are going to sell Arias, but have Arias as a backup, and we sign a first choice right back. And the reason why we do that is if I look at the team, I know the front 4, Ings, Maximin, Bundy and Bailey, who are starting here today, are arguably one of the best front 4 in the league because they just score goals. Like Maximin won our player of the year last season, nearly won the Golden Boot. Year before that, Bundy had 19 goals and like 17 assists, with Bailey scoring like 20 goals and Ings scoring 20 odd goals. Like, yeah, crazy numbers, right? Douglas Luiz for me is just unreal. I can't recommend him enough. He's just so good, and I'm hoping being a bit more creative allows Mohamed to play at his best ability. Owen's obviously making his debut. Diallo, Terrier, Arias, and Martinez have been here for many a season. There's only one thing that I am going to do here as well is I've been doing this in my Twitch save at La Coruña. Links down below. Having a really interesting time there at the minute with La Coruña. A few great signings, good players. You name it. But I've been telling our keeper just to distribute that a lot shorter, and it stops that long-range punt, and that's brilliant, especially when you don't have as tall timber. I guess when Pietro Pellegrini's on the field, not bad. Anyway, your bench is Matty Cash, usually be Jay Allsop. Mings keeps his spot for now, target. Xavi on the bench, Almeida on the bench, Di La Fuente on the bench, Pellegrini on the bench. Lou Barry, I want to get to the bench. I just don't find room for him at the minute. And it's very harsh on a guy that won you the Premier League last season. But I look at him and go, yeah, you're great. But I also know that the freak is the freak. And Pietro Pellegrini can score goals. But it's more of a longer term World Cup year. Danny Ings is going to break down eventually at some stage because he always does for a period. And that's where we need Lou Barry and Pietro Pellegrini to pick up the slack. Anyhow, we are playing Manchester City, who have got Stefan in goals, which I seem to do a lot, but it's very similar to the team that did knock us out in the FA Cup final and resigned us to being runners-up last season. That is definitely one of the competitions I want to win this season. Like, look, obviously, if the Champions League turned around and said, hey, it's your year, yeah, I will definitely take that with welcome arms. But I don't think that's going to happen. But for me this season, FA Cup's a must, I feel like unless we get City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, like early doors, semi-final, see what happens, huh? Like last season. And I feel like that's the next competition we have to tick off here. If the Champions League comes, so be it. If we get knocked out in the group stage, but as long as we finish in the Europa League spot, the Europa League then is a must as well. I'm hoping we don't get to that stage because I feel like our team is too good to do that. And then it's just a matter of, well, if we don't win the league, I want to be competitive and make whoever wins it earn it. But now that I've won one, I'm like, to me, it's just FA Cup, Champions League, and this save's done. Ideally, I want this save not to go longer than 5 seasons, but winning the Champions League may take longer than a 5-season slog because we are Aston Villa, and you come up against the likes of obviously City, PSG, Liverpool. Real Madrid seem to always develop pretty well on FM as well, and Barcelona seem to keep a hold of a lot of their best players in this database. Kind of makes it a lot more difficult to win the Champions League when all those boys are kicking around. I feel like that in longer term saves, it's easy to win the Champions League when they start rebuilding a little bit, and you still get like really good quality, but I think it's easier for you than to make a quarterfinal, semi-final, and anything can happen. Anyway, Stefan with the ball goes long as the game. I don't know what it is. Every time I turn on FM and play my first game, the match engine takes forever with the new PC, and then after that, it's brilliant. But Jack Grealish picking up the ball. Obviously, we got to see Jack beat us last episode, which was not great. And that's never a pen. Good tackle from Mohamed. That's going to hurt his match rating, which is annoying. But yeah, and Romelu Lukaku looks like he's going to take it, doesn't he? He is a massive boy in the match engine, isn't he? And Martinez goes the wrong way. Good penalty. Never a pen. We're 1-0 down thanks to the referee's incompetence. Probably Anthony Taylor. It's not. Martin Ross. But there we are. Martin's had a stinker. And we are 1-0 down through no fault of our own. 2 minutes in. Time ticking away. Villa 0, City 1 in the Community Shield in the replay of last year's FA Cup final. Obviously, they won the FA Cup, we won the league, hence why we're having the Community Shield against them. The only thing I will say outside of this is that initial response has been good. Bit more of the ball, couple chances, that's okay. For me, it's now just about, just find a chance here. And it looks like they're trying to play out from the back, which is Manchester City's way, so thank you, assistant. But yeah, anyway, Owen throws in towards Jack, doesn't win it, but he picks the ball up second time, and Mohamed now needs to find a pass, looks for Douglas Luiz, he's good with his feet, he drives at people, he's got options with him, Arias is with him, ignored him, he now gives it to Arias from deeper, Arias beats a couple, gets into the box, down he goes, and we've had 2 penalties, aren't pens in this game so far. Danny Ings with a chance to level it up, and so far it's been all about Martin Ross and his whistle more than the game of football. And Ings steps up versus Zach Steffen, and like Lukaku, finds the bottom of the net, and it is 1-1 thanks to both refereeing decisions. And look, yeah, Martin Ross, think you're having your moment in the sun here. You may never referee at Wembley again after this, but there we are. Emi Bundia whips the ball back stick. Keeper came and missed it. St. Maxim scored. It's a mistake by Steffen, but his blushes are going to be saved by the linesman's flag. It is still going to be 1-1. He's the only one standing offside. Of course he is. But yeah, Steffen did not know. He came, realised he couldn't get there, missed it, and he's a very lucky boy. Ruben Diaz goes long. De Bruyne picks it up, and Lukaku now have a good ball out. No, it wasn't. And Arias picks it up. Tilio's ball into Bailey's feet is poor, and De Bruyne chips one over to Sterling, who can run at men. And they now keep it nicely. It's now Nathan Ake. And Ake now, still with it, pops a ball in. Headed away by Diallo. Bundia had so much more time. He just looked for Ings first time. I don't rate that at all. Unless you're playing his feet, I don't rate that. In the end, it's a ball over the top. That's straight into Martinez's hands. Well, you look for Owen. Really? That's a goal. So Owen on his debut is now giving away a goal, and it's 2-1. The throw's wide by Martinez. The throw's perfect. All he has to do is knock it back inside and we're out, or play it wide and we're out. And he just, look, like right now, play your centre-back, he plays Mohamed and we're out. Or open your body up, play the winger, and he plays it inside Mohamed and you're out. Instead, he's trying to take on his man there. That's not what we want from you there. In the build-up phase, I want you to play the ball to whoever's facing forward, or someone. That's a good fucking header from Ruben Diaz. 3-1 down. One's a penalty, one's a mistake, and there's an actual goal for City that you're like, it's a set piece. City are yet to break us down properly, by the way. But yeah, that's a good header. Nothing you can do. Martinez route to the spot. But yeah, that is just horrendous from us. 3-1 down, it's very annoying. Especially considering the fact that we've had a pretty good first half as well, according from the stats point of view. And we have a better expected goals, and they've had 4 shots on target and 3 of them have gone in. Leon Bailey now with the ball, gets tackled. Rodrigo goes along, but only as far as Tilio. He picks the ball up, and for whatever reason didn't want to get rid of it. Douglas Luiz now picks it up. Mohamed now is good with his feet, usually. Tilio out to Diallo, and now we look left-hand side to Owen, who has to, create something here to make up for his mistake. And that's a good ball into St. Maximin. Gets to the byline, goes for goal and wide. If he cuts it, it's probably 3-2. Another good moment for ourselves, but unfortunately just not our day at the minute, as Owen gets a tackle and it falls back to him. Owen again gets a tackle and it falls back to him again. And Joey Cancelio, Diallo pumps away, but only as far as Joey Cancelio, who will pick this ball back up. Ruben Diaz, Jack Grealish, Rodrigo now, out to Laporte, and they build again. Ball picked up by Owen, and it falls to Cancelio again. They're pretty lucky today, City. Not going to lie, everything seems to have fallen to him. Sterling, ball to Joey, good save from Martinez. But yet again, that's come from Owen, has made 2 challenges that fall back to City. It's like playing FIFA, really annoying. Jack Grealish now with a ball, St. Maxim heads only as far as Jack. And Jack now with a ball in is blocked again. And it's 55 minutes play. We are 3-1 down. We have to start thinking about changes. It's just, no one out here having a good game at all, really. And look, we've had 8 shots, 4 on target. The City's 5-5. And I would say our quality of chance has been decently created. It's just not our day today, is it? Tilio, Leon Bailey. First time we see him running at people. And Arias now on the overlap. Get a good ball in, my boy. We've seen it before. Douglas Luiz is now. Leon Bailey hits first time, just wide. That's where we wanted Mohamed's left foot to come onto that. But Bailey decided to take it himself. And at 65 minutes play, we are going to make some changes. St. Maxim's had a stinker. Thiago Almeida's going to come in. We're going to give Xavi Simons his debut as well. And look, we'll give Pietro Pellegrini his debut too, because this game's probably dead and buried. It's the Community Shield. At the end of the day, I'm not going to go crazy to try and get a win here. It's not the be or end all. I look at the stats, 11 shots. We've played okay. Apparently we can make 4 changes, sure. If we can make 4 changes, get Conrad on. But anyway, Pietro Pellegrini, Emi Bundia, ball in. Leon Bailey doesn't win. Falls to Arias, who's actually had a decent game, I feel. Beats a couple, straight at the keeper. Sums it up. City have had their chances and, buried, and we haven't. So, just a bit annoying. I feel like if we play this game 10 times over, we definitely don't get beat 3-1 every time. We definitely get a point out of this. Sometimes we win this game, and we've been slightly the better team, and unfortunately, we have come away with a 3-1 loss. Bit more creation from us. We obviously had a better expected goal ratio, very even possession. Kind of 2 ticks in our box, one not even a tick towards City's box, because it's even better shots, better expected goal, and you've come out losing 3-1. I think that's just down to the quality of City and being able to finish chances, and the quality of our lads just weren't there today. I feel like on a different day, like I said. We get away with that. I'm not too fussed with the result. It's just annoying. And hopefully we do not have any more mistakes out of Owen, who did not have the best of debut, even though he looked alright, apart from obviously the moment that we conceded the second goal. Anyhow, I'll see you guys in obviously nearly a month's time for the Champions League group stage draw. And hopefully we get a good group where we can go and maybe dream of Champions League glory. But unfortunately here in the Community Shield, just like in the FA Cup, we lose to City at Wembley and we've played particularly well. It is annoying, but hopefully we can go and just get 3 wins, get the morale nice and high, and I'll see you guys in a second for that Champions League group stage draw. Welcome back, YouTube. This part of the video has actually been filmed about a week or so since the last part of this episode. I'm just going to put it out there right now that I've had a very busy week. Work, obviously, full-time has been killing me. I've had cricket training. I shipped a $200 satellite into the 2K main event. Live event coming up for poker on Thursday night, so that means no chance to, and then I've had to have a choice between Villa or my La Coruña save, which I'm streaming, and obviously with FM slowly winding down and the new one slowly coming out in a couple of months' time, that La Coruña side is a bit more long term. So many young kids, I need to play games in order to develop them and get through seasons there. So we're in a position to win the league, etc., before the end of FM. Because of that, anytime I've had dedicated to stream, I have streamed the La Coruña save. Lastly, also Vanguard also was out at the start of the week as well, with the beta being extended. So haven't been able to get the content out. So firstly, I do apologise. Lastly, also, by the way, just literally come home from a lads trip away to play golf up at McCracken, AFL Grand Final. So I've had a very busy week. So I want to apologise for no content being uploaded to YouTube for about a week and a half or so. Firstly. Secondly, because of all that and because of everything going on, I feel like this would be my last YouTube save for FM21, and I reckon this will be the last season we do at Villa. We're going to just try and win everything here, and if we can, yes, if not, no. Because of that, we have a Santiago Arias bid, which I'm going to reject from Spurs because he's good enough to play in the Premier League for us. He is a Premier League champion from last season. Yeah, it was last season, 2 seasons ago. I always forget now. When you low bait in a Villa, I always think they've all morphed into like one season for me. But yeah, also big news for us is massive news is the fact that Saint Maxim's had his contract accepted. He's had his release fee met for 58 million from Newcastle, and that has been accepted. And he has a work permit and moved to Arsenal. I don't know why he would go from the champions. But yeah, we are going to lose our talisman. All I will say though is Thiago Almeida for me is ready to play. He's 21. He loves that side. For me, it's a straight swap. And what I'm probably going to do with that money is go straight in for a centre back come deadline day, and hopefully we get someone, a big boy, in at the back. And I think that's all we really need to hopefully do what we need to do. In terms of fixtures as well, we did beat Burnley opening day. We beat Brentford 4-0, we beat Watford 4-0, we beat Newcastle 2-1. I do have Chelsea in a couple of days' time. Mercifully, that is the last game St. Maxim will play for us. And for me, that means I will probably use him in that Chelsea game, last game. Hopefully he bangs it in for us and we go 5 straight in the league. For me, if I finish 4th but I win the Champions League and I win the FA Cup, success. If I don't win the Champions League or the FA Cup this season, we've probably failed our little journey here at Villa. And saying that, our squad would be quite amazing in a couple of years' time, but I think it would all be possible. We're just going to run out of time. For us, we are a first seed, so we're just going to draw ourselves out. We're in Group F. If we look at second seeds, we can't get Liverpool, we can't get City, obviously. We want to avoid Barca, we want to avoid Bayern. Atletico, Olympic Lyon, or Leipzig are the ones we want, preferably Lyon. Liverpool go out there. Bayern go out against United. That's brilliant. Barcelona already go out too. So at the minute, we can't get City, Atletico, Lyon, Juve, or Leipzig. I'll rate us against any of them. Lyon, the easiest one, goes out. Leipzig goes out. Juve, Atletico. I'd prefer Juve, who are aging a little bit. We get Atletico. That's not too bad. It's a bit dangerous, but it is what it is. Here we need to avoid Inter, and we need to avoid probably Lazio. CSK go out, Olympiacos, Shakhtar, Salzburg, we're in trouble. Benfica, Sporting, Lazio, Internacional, at least Inter went out. And we get ourselves Benfica. Not the easiest, not the hardest, but, you know, it could be difficult. We just really need to avoid Celtic and probably Club Brugge. We cannot get Atletico Bilbao here. We cannot, we can only not get Atletico Bilbao here. So, yeah, Fenerbahce out. Bilbao is gone. Mönchengladbach's probably one of the harder ones. They're gone. Victoria Pleasant, one of the easier ones. I'm looking at the likes of like Dynamo Kiev, Club Brugge, Bordeaux. How do they make it? They probably just finished 4th out. I know they're utterly going crazy. Yeah, all right. That'd be interesting. It's an interesting group. It's a group that I look at and I go, on our day we top it easy, and on our day that becomes a big slog. But that's a group that I feel like that if you gave me it beforehand with all the other big teams around, it would have been like, yeah. So that will be next episode. We'll just fast forward a day here. We'll click for a day so the fixtures load in. And we'll have a look as well to what we will play. All right, interesting. So next episode is going to be a Bordeaux Liverpool doubleheader. We obviously are in the World Cup here, so this is going to come thick and fast. But yeah, a Bordeaux Liverpool doubleheader where we'll see ourselves start in Group F in the Champions League, and hopefully, we can do one at against Liverpool at Villa Park and put ourselves in a prime position to hopefully go big and mount another Premier League challenge, a title defence, and hopefully, who knows, we can top this Champions League group, go on a bit of a run, and can we end our Villa journey, life of our Grealish, with a Champions League title? Be interesting to see. Anyway, from Damo and everybody else here, I'll see you next time, hopefully for more regular uploads now that everything should be coming down for the next week. I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.